Come on. And get down.
Is it 7? Not for me. It's like literally 2 minutes until 7. Whatever. How is the reason why I meant to start at like 6:55, just so I have 5 minutes until 7. That didn't end up happening because I forgot to put on tea, so everything is moving really fast for me. I was speed run putting on tea and making it. So I started about, I think, 10 minutes or not too long ago, just a few minutes. So welcome everyone to another early morning, not so early morning live stream. I called this, I'll rename it to not so early morning live stream. Hold on, I'm gonna do that now. Not so early morning live stream. There we go. Okay. I need to catch my breath for a second. I'm really worn out by that. I'm kind of torn. An idea that I had for today's live stream is to sort of go a little bit longer. By longer, well, the original plan was like 5 hours, but I don't know if I can go for 5 hours. But I do want to see just how long I can go. I don't know if that'll just end up being 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, I don't know. Or maybe I will get to 5 hours, who knows. If I can get to 5 hours, that would be my dream goal. But also, I highly doubt anyone would care to watch 5 hours of this, just talking about nothing mainly for the longest time. Oh yeah, let me get my phone so I can check the stream, make sure it's doing good. I'm back with my phone. Alright, let's see, go into the live stream to make sure everything is running handy dandy. I think the music could be adjusted just slightly. I don't know. I'll turn it down literally just slightly. There may not be a huge difference, but I'm gonna turn it down just slightly. The music was just a little bit too loud. There we go. Turn it down. Alright. I'm still kind of out of breath. I took a sip of water and everything. And once again, my microphone is all the way across my desk. There we go. Alright. Okay. I still need a minute to get my breath. I'm telling you guys, getting that tea was no joke. Well, I guess technically it was a joke, but I was thirsty needed my morning tea. I got it. Whatever, I'm not ready for today's live stream, guys. I don't know if anyone who joined in the past is gonna join again. I mean, I made an announcement yesterday in the Discord about I wasn't going to be streaming yesterday. And I was going to be streaming today. So, I don't know if people are going to be joining. I don't know if anyone regular will join. Who knows? What happened? Everything broke? No, okay. Oh, I thought something broke. Okay, no, everything's good. I'm surprised. I haven't gotten my daily YouTube Studios "you're having issues" notifications. So, interesting. First time for everything, eh? All right. Okay. Now, what shall we talk about on this early morning live stream? I feel like this is no surprise that this is always how these early morning live streams are just going to go forever, because I need like the first 10 minutes, 20, 15 minutes, however long I usually go for, just to think of a topic. And for like that first, well, usually the first 5 minutes are the live stream starting. So I guess from that going forward, 15 minutes to think of something to talk about. I mean, yes, technically it is easy to go back to something I've already talked about and pile on that. But I don't know if I want to do that. I'm not so sure about that one, sir. Okay. I guess technically there is something I can talk about, but depending on if I don't talk about it, because I technically, I don't know if I'll talk about it. We'll see what happens. I'll bring it up later if we do end up getting more people in the in stream. I'll ask if you want to hear a little story, and I'll tell you. That story will probably take up an entire hour. So I wouldn't really mind it. I may or may not be going on my phone right now just to find something to talk about. Oh, I guess that's something I can tell you guys if you haven't seen it. I'm gonna check to see if anyone's voted. So, I made a community post that, 3 people have already voted. Would you look at that? So, I made a community post saying this, which it's on, you go to my YouTube, go to community, it's right there. It's the first one posted almost an hour ago. It says, after the Hollow Knight musical bites are completed, what would you guys like to see next? Mario Tennis Aces musical bites or Pokemon Sword and Shield musical bites? So, I put that out there. So far, 3 people have voted. 1 person voted for Mario Tennis Aces. 2 other people voted for Sun and Moon, Sword and Shield. So if you want to make your vote on that, you could go to my channel, go to community. It'll be there. You can vote. And I am going to try my best to finish the Hollow Knight musical bites this month. I don't know if I'm going to. I don't know if that's going to... But I am determined to do that, and I am much more focused to complete it. I think it's like, what, the 15th? It's the 16th for me right now. So, I'm going to try my best to get that done this month. Realistically, depending on if this is the current rate, because I haven't been doing too well on keeping up with working on the musical, so at this rate, the Hollow Knight musical bites will either be finished at the end of this month or at the beginning of the next. But still, that isn't that long. That is my goal of what I'm going towards. At most, I hope for is getting it finished a little bit early this month. The lowest I can hope for is the end of this month, the beginning of next month. I do not want, because I've been working on the Hollow Knight musical bites for so long, I do not want this to drag on for a whole other month. So I am going to try to finish it, to complete it, to either end, again, least to end it the end of this month or the beginning of next month. I am not going to drive it on continually for the rest of next month. It will be finished this month or the beginning of the next. Sorry, that was a lot of going back and forth, but still. That's when it's gonna be finished. Hey, Jester Man, what's up? Your perfect, don't worry, I don't count that one time. Your perfect, record is good. Oh, I was about to drink some tea, but then I felt how hot yeah, I'm not drinking the tea yet. It's still pretty hot. Alright, I guess I was thrown off because we usually do this at 6:30, not 7, so... I mean, this just gives people who usually aren't able to join the early morning live streams to do it now. Or should I say the not so early morning live stream. So yeah. And as you could probably see, I'm sort of having a hard time with making thumbnails. I mean, it isn't hard. It's been 3 breaks. How about a what? 3 breaks, you say? Yes. That was the thing that I was kind of conflicted about doing this month. I'm determined to only focus to work and to post the Hollow Knight musical bites. I haven't, even though I'm getting inspired by so many other things to go into things like, I was listening to Pokemon, now I want to redo my Pierce's theme from Sword and Shield, and I want to do some other, that's why I did the community post about Pokemon Sword and Shield, because I literally can't help it. So I just decided to make it as a community post, see what people chose. So far, Pokemon Sun and Moon is winning, and I had completely forgot, this was just something, I had completely forgot that Juno had made a bunch of Sword and Shield lyrics. Is this finally the DKC? No. I thought I told you this before, Jester Man. I'm going to dedicate later on an entire stream in the afternoon, not early morning, because I kind of figure sometimes you can't make it in the morning, so I'm dedicating it to you probably late afternoon. So sometime in the future, late afternoon, there is going to be an entire stream dedicated to the darkness of the Donkey Kong lore. Don't you worry about it. I will probably say that might happen after the Hollow Knight musical bites, because the Hollow Knight musical bites has been such a heavy thing on me that I'm going to be glad to finally get rid of. That was kind of harsh. It's been fun working on it, but seriously, how long this has been taking, I'm gonna be relieved that I'm gonna be finishing it this month, late this month, early next month. Oh yeah, like I was saying, I was getting I really wanted to work on some Pokemon lyric videos, but I finally backed off of that, because if I get sidetracked and start working on other projects, and the reason why I wanted to work on those to begin with is, yes, number one, I was inspired to do them, but number two is that I'm getting to that point as a YouTuber where I'm getting anxious, because this time I actually do have an upload schedule. And I haven't uploaded much this month. Almost nothing really this month. And so I'm getting really anxious about it and feeling, well, I need to post it. But I've already told in other live streams, I haven't made a public announcement, I guess, on the channel. Yes, in live streams, not in like a separate video. That I'm not going to be working on other projects for any other of my other channels just yet. I'm going to focus on finishing the Hollow Knight Musical Bites. And then I'm going to be working on other projects. So for now, I'm just going to stick... The dong is not bound by time of day certain. Yes, indeed. You are very much correct, sir. And I'm going into voices again. Normally I wouldn't care about phasing in and out of doing voices, but early in the morning my voice doesn't sound good, so yes, I am worried about that. I will attempt and be brave to take a sip of this boiling tea. Never mind. That is that is really hot. And then take a sip of some normal cold water. Drinking a lot of water is not bad for you. Let me just get that out of the way. But I do drink so much water just in the morning in general because tea, I guess coffee too, but I don't drink coffee in the morning, so I'm classifying specifically tea. I have like a fairly large water bottle that I usually drink completely in the morning, and I have this cup of tea, which is basically just hot water. So I drink so much water just in like the hours that we stream, like literally. So that would mean like 1 hour, 2 hours, most likely 1 hour, that is just water. I don't know if that's impressive, sad, I don't know what's going on there. Maybe it's just I really like water, who knows? Oh yeah, I guess this is something I could sort of spoil. I don't know how long it's going to take me to upload it. So and I think I talked about this in later live streams if you guys didn't know. So for the Friday Night Funkin', I did choose, well, it was from a mod called the Hex mod, RAM. Excuse me. So for Friday Night Funkin', the Hex mod RAM, which is the exact theme that plays during the stream starting soon screen, and I think I may have also put it on my Be Back Soon screen. I have that music playing because I really love it, and I wanted to make a lyric video on it. So what I did was, I got a friend over Discord, and we got together, got on Roblox, and we went to the Friday Night Funkin' server, that someone made, and we recorded it separately. We recorded audio, we recorded visuals, and I was gonna do Roblox version. I'm kind of doubting to do that because that seems like a lot of hoops to jump through just for a funny gag, which, if you're wondering, that's what that community post was about a while ago. That had that was in the Roblox setting with the stage and everything. I guess if you guys do want to see the Roblox version of that, I guess I could do it, but more I'm thinking about it, I want to make it more of a serious cover, because it was kind of a jokey cover. The lyrics were, serious. I made those seriously, but the visuals I was going to have a little silly. But now that I'm thinking about it, I kind of want it to be more serious, so I'll use the actual material and not just Roblox version. So I might end up doing that. I wonder what playback means. I have no idea what playback means. Okay. There was something in my teeth. Also, that is still really hot. Ooh, I'm so stupid. You know what I could do? Well, I guess that is why I do it. I was gonna say, I could just tweet out the channel over on Twitter on my phone. Why do I keep doing it? Why am I just always... Sorry, I was Twitter. Why do I always do it over my phone? What? I'm sorry, let me start over. I usually tweet out sometimes whenever I do early morning live streams on Twitter. during the stream starting soon screen, and I do that on my laptop, and I'm like, why am I, and I'm just now realizing why am I doing it over my laptop? Why, because that keeps lagging out my laptop, so and almost crashing the stream. Why don't I just do it on my phone? Well, no duh, I do it on my laptop because that's the easiest way to access the link to the live stream in general. I would fun. You know what? I'm gonna make a post. I'm gonna make a post here on Twitter right now, even though we're already 20 minutes in. It's kind of a pointless live stream. I'm gonna take a picture of my setup, and let me turn on the lights. Hold on, my lights are off. I'm like a bat in here, bat in a cave. All right. If you guys have Twitter, you'll probably be able to see this. So I took the picture. I'm gonna go ahead and make the tweet that I'm live, but there isn't gonna be any link to it, but oh well. It's fine. Early. Okay, so I'm tweeting the picture. If you do week 6, dialogue, you're dead to me. Well, the thing is, I don't know how much of the Friday night Funkin' themes I'm gonna do. The Hex mod has definitely been my favorite, and I love all the music from that. But other than that, I haven't really seen a lot of other of the Friday night Funkin' themes. I mainly seen the mods, not the actual main game. So I don't know about a lot of them. I don't know how many I'm going to do. I'm definitely going to do RAM, but I don't know which other one. If I do another one, it probably is going to be from the Hex mod. Hold on. I'm going to tweet this early morning. If you have Twitter, you're probably going to be able to see this. If you do, follow me on Twitter. And if you don't, there's a link in the description. Which, to be fair, I guess I don't really... Well, the only time I really do post something on Twitter, because I don't really care for social media such as Twitter, Instagram, purely for the reason of I don't understand the appeal of scrolling through your phone just to... Like, that sort of thing doesn't entertain me. So I usually have Twitter, and I don't have an Instagram. But I have Twitter for the sake of updating people on things that are going down, like for instance early morning live streams or other channel related things. Whenever I don't have access to YouTube over my laptop to make a video, I will have my Twitter and I will post whenever I'm not there or do something. It is much quicker to do a tweet than it is to quickly make something like a community post, believe it or not. You can just play on Newgrounds. Yeah, I think I knew about that, but I don't have the time to sit down and play a video game. So starting today, they're not here yet, but starting today, I'm going to be visited by a family. So I'm not going to be able to work much then, and after that, I'm going to go directly into making the Hollow Knight musical bites, and then directly after that, most likely instantly go into the next musical, which is either going to be Mario Tennis Aces or... What was the other one I said? It was Pokemon Sword and Shield. So depending on which one people choose, whenever I finish the Hollow Knight musical bites, I'm gonna go directly into one or the other. So you guys keep distracting me. I gotta tweet this out. So early morning live stream. Hold on, that looks ugly. Live stream. So early morning live stream looks pretty... I sort of forgot what I was gonna say. Early morning live streams looks... Oh, that's bad grammar, isn't it? Looks. Early morning live stream looks... No, I'm right about that. Sorry, I'm dyslexic. Grammar is not my forte. Early morning live streams looks pretty good. Parentheses. I'm live. I'm love. No. See, that's one of the things that I wish Twitter would allow you to do, is edit your texts. The only thing you can do after you had already posted, already whenever you had tweeted something, you can only either remove it or pin it. You can't do anything else with it. Like, you could obviously make a thread, but I wish Twitter would just allow you to edit what you typed. Early morning live streams look pretty good. Parentheses, I'm live now, and this is the behind the scenes look of the live set up. That should be 2 words, right? Live setup is 1 word. What is this? Also, I recommend one of your Sword and Shield songs as the legendary dog in the fog. Good song. Actually, surprisingly enough, which is really funny because I played through the whole game literally just yesterday. I played through the entire game in probably the span of like 2 days. It wasn't really that hard. So I played through the entire game in like less than 2 days roughly. And I've been paying attention a lot to the music, and I've been inspired to work on music because of all the music that I was hearing from Sword and Shield. But funny thing, the dog in the fog that you're referencing, that's probably, I know what you're talking about. That's probably the only song from Pokemon Sword and Shield that I have not paid attention to. I don't even know. I'm gonna have to look it up after the stream. I have no idea what that sounds like, so I'm gonna have to look it up. You guys keep distracting me. I gotta do this post. Early morning live streams look pretty. I've spent like what 20 minutes working on this tweet. Early morning live streams look pretty good. Parentheses. I'm live now, and this is my behind the scenes look of the live setup. I'm gonna go ahead and just tweet this. There we go. If you guys have Twitter, you'll be able to see what my setup looks like for live streams. It's funny because it's so below basic. If you guys don't have Twitter, or I don't know, do you have to make an account in order to like do anything on Twitter? I sort of forgot how that worked. So links in the description to the Twitter if you want to look at that tweet, but if not, I may just pull the image, or quickly take a picture, and pull the image into OBS for you guys to see here on live stream. I'll wait for a little bit. So it slaps, trust me. Oh yeah, you know what? Forget doing it after the stream. I'm gonna look up the song right now because chances are I'm gonna forget it. And since I'm kind of seeing everyone's sort of more leaning towards Pokemon Sun and Moon the musical. What? Never mind. The real question is, will I do Pokemon Sun and Moon the musical? Last time I checked, there were 3 votes, 1 to Sword and Shield, 3 to Sword and Shield, 1 to, I'm sorry, those ratios are all off. The point is, Sword and Shield was winning. I'm looking at it now, and it's a 50-50 split between Mario Tennis Aces and Pokemon Sword and Shield. Very interesting. I was not expecting that. Well, the thing is, whenever I did which one would you like to see more recent, Hollow Knights or Mario Tennis Aces, everyone chose Hollow Knights. But I was very surprised just how many people chose Mario Tennis Aces. It was a lot more than I was expecting. But anyways, gonna go ahead, quickly look up the song you mentioned. You might hear it. Hopefully it doesn't get copyrighted. We will see, won't we? Let's see. Pokemon Sword and Shield. I spelled sword wrong. What is this? Just dog theme? Oh, there's 3 different versions, or it's the same version. I just wasn't paying attention. Oh. So which one were you referring to? Because technically there's, well, what is called the Illusion version. Their battle music. And then, and I can never pronounce this Pokemon's name. Eternatus versus whatever. Let me listen to all of them just to see how they sound, and then I'll give you guys my answer. That is loud. Plus, that's an ad, so I definitely can't share that. I mean, technically I could, but it's not my video, so it would be kind of weird showing an ad that's not even on my video. Or live streams. I don't know if you guys can hear this. Oh, that one played in the opening? Whoa. That one, I mean, it is, well, the illusion one was kind of shifty. I don't know if we could put lyrics to that one. Whoa! There was a lot of craziness. Hold on. What you said, that one plays during the illusion in the opening. Oh. Actually, let me look up the opening song. There's so much I want to look up. Pokemon Sword and Shield. Wait, what? I pulled up Pokemon Sword and Shield, and the very first thing that come up was Pokemon Sun and Moon. I'm so confused. YouTube, is this your algorithm? You didn't wait until the beat dropped? Hold on, I'll go back to it. I'll go back to it. Wrong one. Both of them. Wait, was it the illusion? Was it this one? Was this the one you're talking about? Hey and bye, I have to go now. Oh, okay. Hold on, let me turn this off so you can hear me. Hey and bye, I have to go now. Okay, dude. Well, I'm glad you could join whenever you could. Hope it was enjoyable for however long you were here. So, goodbye. If you do have to go, later. It's been good having you here on stream. Thank you for sticking around. Yes? Okay, so this is the right one. Okay, let me rewind it so I can hear it when the beat drops. Okay, that's all I'm gonna play. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Also, after listening to that one, I sort of hear a recurring theme with some music here in Pokemon. Did that theme sound any familiar to you guys? I mean, obviously it was different, but it sounds very similar to something that was in Pokemon Sun and Moon. I think it was that guitar that was playing in the theme that sounded exactly the same to, I'm pretty sure it's versus I'm Gladion. Yeah, it was Gladion. Sorry, I had to think back to the lyrics I made for Pokemon Sun and Moon the musical. Rest in peace, Sun and Moon the musical. It never came to be. But that was lyrics that I had made. I don't know if I still have it. Hold on. I don't know if I'll sing because my throat is still not singing ready, but I may pull up the lyrics to some of the things that I had done. That was a big gulp of my tea, but I did that for the reason of I tasted it was lukewarm, and I don't like drinking cold tea. I don't think it's in my... Oh yeah, welcome to the Alola region. Would you look at that? Will I do welcome to the Alola region? I don't know. I'm gonna just get these lyrics to... I took these off of whatever, so it's gonna be a little crazy. You gotta, come on, there, yeah. Could be better, tell you what. That's not right. Well, hold on, sorry. This is gonna be really boring, but I'm trying to get all these lyrics sort of straight because they're all over the place. I'm just trying to get the ones, I'm sorry. I'm trying to talk so there's no dead space, but I also understand that if I open my mouth, there's not going to be very much to really say. So, okay. Pokemon Moon is the closest you get to playing as... That's because you get to steal the... Ha ha ha. Funny. That's a good one. I don't know how many of the Pokemon musical... Did I delete the whole thing I made? I mean, I saved some of them. Okay. I'm gonna embarrass myself by singing this when my throat isn't mission ready, but I guess to be fair, my singing wasn't good anyway, so I guess it won't change that much. So, welcome to the Alola region, which I'm gonna play. I'm not gonna be able to play the song and see the lyrics, but I'll pull up the theme of Welcome to the Alola region. I'm pretty sure it's literally just the intro, but for you guys, I'll pull it up so you guys can sort of see how that sounds, and so you can sort of expect how it's gonna go whenever I sing the lyrics or attempt to sing the lyrics. I want to bring up Gladion's lyrics, but I don't know where they are. Ooh, Gardevoir, interesting. Okay. So the beat for this one doesn't drop until a little bit. So that's generally what you can expect and how it goes. Obviously, that must be so annoying because, hold on, I'm going to turn off. I didn't realize that I still have my background music playing. I'm going to mute my background music. That must have sounded terrible. So let me play it back a little bit, continue it. So if you didn't hear it, I'll just... So, it comes to a close very soon, then it just repeats. So, that was Welcome to the Alola region. I brought that up so you guys could sort of hear how it sounds, so whenever I sort of attempt to sing the lyrics, you can, oh, by the way, have you seen Finest Hour yet? I guess not, because, or maybe I have. That title sounds familiar. I may have and just forgot all about it. I may have seen it and just forgotten about the context. I don't know. It's a strong possibility. I legitimately forget things so easily, you guys have no idea. Unless I'm hyper-focused on it, I don't pay attention or remember a lot of things. What is wrong with this? YouTube Studios? Okay. I've been asking you since Stream 1. Again, that sounds familiar. I mean, again, I probably did listen to it and just forgot about it, which again is a big possibility. I forget about things a little too easy. I don't have like dementia or something, but I'm kind of convinced. I would not be surprised if someone came to me like, hey, you have dementia. I would not be surprised. I lose my memory too easily. Also, I realized this stream for the majority was basically nothing, so I'm probably going to be streaming a little bit more, so we'll see what happens. So, the Welcome to the Alola region theme that I played you, I'm going to sort of sing the lyrics that I've made for the musical. I don't know if I'm going to sing them all. It's probably going to sound terrible because, number one, the music, I don't have it queued up. I can't time it, so I can't do that. So, I'll probably talk the lyrics, not necessarily. Well, we'll see what happens. Plus, it would be more comfortable if I were standing up for this, but whatever. I mean, I guess technically I could move the microphone. But oh well. So it's like, welcome to the Alola region, where the mountain stands high and the water... Oh, no. I thought it was a water Pokemon. I think I messed that up because I think it was supposed to be "and the water Pokemon shine." Whatever, I'll just read it how I wrote it, whatever. So, welcome to the Alola region, where the mountain stands high and the water shines. Welcome to your new adventure. Ooh, I hear that snot coming back up. Pick your new... Oh, yeah. Welcome to your new adventure. Pick your new partner, go see the sun and moon glowing brighter. Feel the breeze through your hair, Pokemon everywhere. Watch your new days go by. Look at the piece of the nighttime sky. These tropical islands are here to bring out new friendships and bonds. Your journey has just begun. Let's go and have some fun. Okay, and then this part, it's like stop singing here. I was thinking of having a cutscene here. That's because like after this, it repeats again and the theme repeats again. So imagine it as the same beat because it's practically the same thing. But during this gap between this time, which I think it's like 1:15, that's whenever it stops between like the beat drop and it sort of run throughs the hey, and it does that. If you've ever heard the theme, you know what I'm talking about. So starts again at 1:26. That might actually be wrong, but welcome to the Alola region, where amazing Pokemon fly and the water Pokemon are divine. Man, this snot's really impeding me. Welcome to your new adventure. Pick your new partner, go meet the wildlife and grow your team. Feel the breeze through your hair, Pokemon everywhere. Watch your new days go by. Feel the heat of the daytime rise. These tropical islands are here to bring out new friendships and bonds. Your journey has just begun. Let's go and have some fun. And then end singing, end song, that's basically it. So that was Welcome to the Alola region. I have a feeling it should have been a lot better than what it was. I'm not confident in my ability to sing in the morning, so it probably didn't sound all that well. Your voice sounds great. I don't believe you. I'm just kidding. Recently deleted. Oh no, it's not here. I wanted to bring up, you know what, why not? I'm gonna try to find, I'm gonna go to my Welcome to the Alola region. Yeah, Threatening Zeppelin. Oh, I forgot all about that. Do you guys want to hear my shout out to anyone who chose Litten for being wrong? Wait, what does that mean, man? I chose Linton as my starter, which, I think I've already mentioned this in a previous live stream. I will always choose the fire starter in a game unless it's in the generation of Pokemon Black and White, because Snivy is my favorite Pokemon, so I will always choose Snivy. The only other different type that I choose, my grass type Snivy. For any other thing, I will always pick a fire type just because I don't care about water types or grass types unless, as a starter, unless it is Snivy, in which case I love it. Also, I'm going to charge up my laptop, so I'll be right back. But do you guys want to hear of the missing... So, basically, for those of you who are around to hear the announcement. Why the buff cat? I mean, dude, it was Pokemon Sun and Moon. I was excited at the beginning, but when playing it, it was like, my expectations were dropped, and it was like, okay, I guess this is how the game is. It was kind of a disappointment to begin. I mean, it wasn't a bad game, not at all. I always appreciate a good game for its really good story. I appreciate that very much. I will say that the Pokemon design for Litten was kind of oddly chosen. I do agree. Why the buff cat? Why a buff cat, indeed? It does make sense. So, for those of you who were around for the Cuphead musical thing, it didn't end up happening. But one of the lyrics I did made was a Threatening Zeppelin, and that was one of my favorite themes from there. Carnival, Kerfuffle, and Threatening Zeppelin. I really want to do Threatening Zeppelin. Oh, man. So, Threatening Zeppelin is technically sung by Helda von Hindenburg or something like that. Sun and Moon is far better than Sword and Shield to me. You know what? Well, I disagree and agree with you. I agree with you for the fact that I feel like the story in Sun and Moon is a little bit more on the dynamic side than what Sword and Shield has to offer, because, I don't know, it seems Sword and Shield's, the main plot of Sword and Shield with the crazy Dynamaxing and you have to stop the chairman, that seems like a straight... plain, bland, I don't know, like, even though that sounds like a cool idea, for some reason, I don't know if it's just because of all the different kinds of plots in Pokemon past, but that just seems so original to me. Not original as in it's different, it's its own new thing. When I say original, I mean like plain, like it's I don't know how else to describe it. It's like it could have more, but it doesn't. It's just plain. So I will give you that story-wise. I do like Sun and Moon's story much more than I do Sword and Shield, and yeah, I do like that better. But I will say Sword and Shield over Pokemon Sword and Moon. The one thing that I appreciate is the feeling you get of the journey. The plot and story in Sun and Moon are far better than Sword and Shield, but the experience of Sword and Shield I feel outranks Moon. What I mean by that is because the feeling of battling in the tournament, like in the Galora, whatever you want to call it, region, whenever I first got to the point of the tournament, we were going to the semifinals and you had to fight your way through to the champion. That experience was so incredible. I've only had that experience once from a Beyblade game that was released early 2000s, I think, or I think around that time, where you play in tournaments. It was from the original Beyblade show, so it might be in the 1900s when that came out, because I think the original Beyblade came out late 1900s. But they made a game about it. You play through tournaments. And that was such a cool feeling. And going through it on Pokemon Sword and Shield with the tournament, specifically the tournament. Again, I'm not giving props to Sword and Shield for its plot. Just the tournament aspect and the journey of getting to the tournament. I would have much rather preferred to just ignore the chairman altogether and just specifically go straight to the tournament and finish that off. Because that experience is so cool. What is it? In Sun and Moon, I can have all my Pokemon, and I don't have to pay $30 for an awful content that should have just came out with the game. In Sword and Shield, I can't go anywhere at all without someone stopping me, and I hate it. Well, that's interesting. That's interesting that you say that and you bring that up, because that's how I feel about other Pokemon games other than Sword and Shield. Because I just feel like that's the norm. Like, I feel like that's a norm for Sword and Shield. I could be wrong. Maybe it's just because I haven't played a lot of Pokemon games. I played Black and White. I played Heart Gold, Sun and Moon, Sword and Shield. There was another one I also played. I think I played either Diamond or Pearl. But I played a fair amount of Pokemon games, and I just felt like that being interrupted is just sort of the norm, so I've kind of accepted that. So it's interesting that you bring that up, because in my opinion, I feel like that's just normal. Again, I could be wrong, but I don't know. But something I do have to say is I don't appreciate. I mean, Sun and Moon for their legendaries, they did it cleverly. You know, they had a very clever design for their legendaries and their what were they called? I sort of forgot them over time. They were called Dimension Beasts or something. The other legendaries you can catch, Dimension Beasts, whatever. I forgot what they were called, but the designs of those and the legendaries, Sun and Moon legendary, Lunala, Solar, whatever their names were, I think they did a very good and clever design for those legendaries. I don't appreciate the Sun and Moon. I do not appreciate Sword and Shield's legendaries at all. Because Ultra Beasts, okay, it was called Ultra Beasts. I do not appreciate Sword and Shield's legendaries at all. I don't know if it's because they specifically chose a dog design and they've already done that with the 3 dog legendaries. Was it called Entei, the fire one? Well, the fire, the ice, the fire dog, the ice dog. What was the last one? I don't remember, but their dog legendaries, I don't know if it's because they've already done it, but the fact that they went back to the dog legendary and in combination with a Sword and Shield, I feel like they could have done so much better than using dogs. I don't know. I don't like that design at all. I feel like they could have had so much opportunity. Plus, I mean, I understand their legendaries and everything, but I feel like their power demonstration was sort of blown out of proportion. Plus that other, like, evil legendary that you fight and capture, whatever the final boss, whatever that is. Because I forgot the name. That was like the dragon with the Gigantamax cannon or whatever, that move. That legendary also looks really ugly to me. Again, I feel like for the legendaries, they could have done so much better, and I feel like they did have so much grander opportunities. But they wasted it. The legendaries don't look good to me. Again, they had a lot of greater opportunities. I could have seen the shield Pokemon being like a giant titan with like the shield for its like chest plate. I feel like that would have been, again, this is just a spitball idea, but that design felt really cool to me. What is that? Tina is the best legendary. Who doesn't love a good You know what? I think the only reason why I appreciate the giant hand that for some reason it comes out that one that isn't the actual design of it is the fact that it looks like number 106 giant hand, or chaos number 106 giant red hand from Zexal, Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal. I think that's the only reason why I appreciate that. Like, it's more bigger design, whatever. It's I don't know, it's weird. So anyways, I wasn't expecting to go on a Pokemon rant. What was the other thing about Pokemon Sword and Shield, Sun and Moon that I would wanted to relate to? Oh yeah, the DLC. The DLC was odd. I've seen people, I don't have it myself. I've seen other people play DLC via live streams. I know Juno played one of them during his live streams that I watched. I think the only thing that I really appreciated, because Slowpoke is in my top 5 favorite Pokemon, that in one of the DLCs, Slowpokes went fast, and that's that's the only thing that I appreciate in the DLC. Giratina is Gen 4. You're talking about Eternia. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't see what you were typing last time. Oh, no, you did say Giratina. Yeah, I'm just blind. Yeah. I mean, I like the idea and the designs of all the Pokemon except for, again, Sword and Shield. Oh yeah, going back to what I said before, I got so off topic talking about Pokemon, I was talking about Cuphead. So, the threatening Zeppelin, even though this role is supposed to be played by a female, because in the Cuphead musical, what was supposed to happen is the characters were supposed to sing their own themes. Like, for instance, the threatening Zeppelin is Hildeberg's theme, and and the person who played Hildeberg would obviously, it's her own theme, so she would sing her own theme. I know that that's basically everything that I've already done on this channel, but I feel like, I don't know, that needs explanation for some reason. So the threatening Zeppelin was technically a female role, but I kind of want to sing it, and I want to. Listening to the theme would take a long time. It's 3 minutes and 16 seconds. I know how it generally starts, so I guess I could start singing it. And I may, because I'm starting to feel anxious and want to post something, I just may end up contacting someone, I don't know, and seeing if they would sing the threatening Zeppelin. We'll see what happens. But I want to try to remember how it goes. The threatening, let's see if I remember how it is. Take your feet. Oh wait. Let me pull it up for you guys so I can so you kind of have an idea if you don't know. Threatening Zeppelin theme. That's an ad. Okay. The idea of the new Legend of Arceus game sucks. Since we're on the Pokemon topic, just want to get that out there. Okay, here it is. And that's all I'm gonna play of it because it goes on for a whole other 3 minutes. So that's Threatening Zeppelin, so you guys have an idea of what it sounds like. Sorry if the audio keeps getting blown out. I sort of haven't been paying attention to that. Oh, no. It was on Google Docs. What am I doing? Threatening Zeppelin. Here it is. Alright. So now that Legend of Arceus still looks like it plays 10 times better than Sword and Shield. Oh yeah, I'm not saying that isn't the case. The graphics look beautiful, and even though it kind of Zelda Breath of the Wild Pokemon version, even though that idea is kind of weird, I do think that the mechanics are looks a lot better. I mean, plus the gameplay is not like a normal Pokemon game, which again, not that there's anything wrong with that, but the idea, again, I've already talked about this, but completing the Pokedex has never been something that interests me. So the fact that the plot of Legend of Arceus is catching all the Pokemon in the region to make the first Pokedex does not interest me at all, and I probably will never play the game for the plot or for the reason of catching them all. Hey, Glamour, what's up? So that's the only thing I don't like. I probably would play Legend of Arceus purely for the reason of its visuals and seeing how its mechanics play, plus seeing the region back in the past Like, because we've always seen Pokemon through the aspect of modern day times, and of course, as years go on, we see it played in, of course, upgraded, manners time and time again. So I think the idea of going back in time to see sort of how the Pokemon world was in the past is a really cool idea. That's likely not going to be your only goal. Oh yeah, I'm sure, because a title that's like Legend of Arceus, something is bound to happen that's crazy. But as it stands, because of the trailers that are currently out right now, I haven't seen anything that presumes more. Like, I haven't seen too much of the battling aspect. I think there is some, but I haven't seen it in its entirety. So until I can visually see that in its entirety, I will be more than happy to get the game and play it, even though it would be a real drag for me because I don't like making the Pokedex, completing it. So the fact that I have to make the Pokedex will probably be a big drag for me. But I would play it if I see that there's something more. Plus, I would probably play it anyway just to see the amazing graphics, the visuals. Plus, I would like to hear how the music in the game is, because I'm really curious how that's going to go, because music, again, takes place in a modern day era, so the fact that we're going back in time for this Pokemon game, I'm really interested to see how the music is going to be. I think that's what I'm most curious about overall. Pokemon Shelf give you so much. That's why I don't play it anymore. I just want to point out that Arceus can't be transferred into Sword and Shield, meaning even God can't beat border control. That is sad, man. I mean, I guess you could technically say that about Giratina, because doesn't Giratina fall into that line with Arceus as well? Specifically with Arceus, not with any other legendary Pokemon. Because they're technically supposed to be of the same caliber, just lighter and darker, right? Isn't that how it's supposed to play? I haven't played Pearl, Diamond and Pearl for a while, so I may have forgotten a few things. Anyways, quickly going back to the threatening Zeppelin to Cuphead, the point that I was trying to get to, but we kept talking about... I mean, I would be more than happy to talk about Pokemon, and I will probably get back to talking about Pokemon, but first, I want to bring up the threatening Zeppelin. Giratina can be transferred in Sword and Shield. Okay, never mind. So I guess Giratina doesn't fall into that aspect if that's the case. I mean, it's weird. Arceus, I haven't actually used Arceus myself, so I don't know if using Arceus is good or bad. You meant Shield? Well, that's fair. We've had a whole discussion about how Sword and Shield was not the best. Threatening Zeppelin. For the new people who maybe join the stream, I'm going to bring up the Threatening Zeppelin again because I've already sort of sung one of the Pokemon Sun and Moon musicals that I was helping with that never ended up happening. Rest in peace, Pokemon Sun and Moon the musical, for never happening. But, yeah, I'm just going to bring up Threatening Zeppelin and sort of tell you guys the lyrics of the Threatening Zeppelin, of the Cuphead musical that almost happened but didn't happen here on this channel. And that's all I'm going to share because it goes on for like 3 minutes. So, what is that? How did it confuse you? Sword and are the easier games in the entire franchise. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people complain about that, which is interesting because I've also, I had no idea where to go. Where to go, Jesterman? Well, okay. Oh yeah, you guys are talking. That was on to me. Sorry, didn't want to intrude on your conversation. So that was the Threatening Zeppelin theme, so I'm going to try to sing it the best I can. This is the one Cuphead song that I had finished making. I've only made 2, which was the Carnival Kerfuffle and the Threatening Zeppelin. Plus, with the lack of people, was a hence why the musical never happened. I'm gonna try to do it in the future, and chances are I'm gonna get someone to help sing as Hildeberg for the Threatening Zeppelin, because I really want this to be happening, because I really love the Threatening Zeppelin theme. But I would only want to reach out to someone who I really appreciate their singing, which would be hard because a lot of those people are like Man on the internet, Juno songs, people who are basically high up there, who wouldn't give small-time subscribers the light of day. I was gonna say X marks the spot. Checkmate. What? The game puts a gun to your head, force you to move in a straight path all game. Technically, Sun and Moon does that too. You can't just qualify that as just Sword and Shield, because playing Sun and Moon, they on the map, they literally give you indicators of where you're supposed to go. So you can't say that's just Sword and Shield's fault. You can technically say that that originates from Sun and Moon. Technically speaking. It's funny because that's also how I sort of got confused playing Heart Golds, because even though people told me where to go, I was confused on where to go, probably because I was dyslexic and wasn't reading things properly, but still, that's probably how I lost a lot of the other games. Yeah, but I don't hate all the characters in Sun and Moon. Yeah, I guess that's fair. Okay, getting back to Threatening Zeppelin, the thing I've been trying to get to. So you've already heard it. I'm not going to bring it up a third time, so I'm gonna the theme up a third time. So Threatening Zeppelin. Here, again, keep in mind the Threatening Zeppelin is supposed to be sung by not a male role, so it might sound a little weird. So here it is. If you want to hear the Threatening Zeppelin theme for yourself, you can look it up, because I've already done it 2 times, and I sort of don't want to do it again. So, and then it kicks up 3 seconds. Man, this is why I love specifically like swing music of the old time, because they don't have a problem kicking up the music. Which is like, man, it's actually been so long. I don't even know how. Man, hold on. Let me test some things before I start singing. Take your feet. Okay, I think I understand it. It's been a while, so let me see. So it's like, take your feet off the ground, we travel through the sky. See the constellations shine, the stars burn your eyes. I think I read that wrong. There's so much background noise. So it was like, take your feet off the ground, we travel through the sky. See the constellations shine, the stars burn out your eyes. That was it. I will laugh so hard it'll crash your plane into the clouds. Spin that wind so darn fast to make those twisters wild. That was a poor bit, but whatever. The stars and moon rise, in this race of aerial combat, I promise you'll end and last. You cut brothers falling fast, I'll drop you out of the skies at last. I will say I'm very surprised I finished this theme. Also, that stops and then it kicks up to the next part, which I'm very impressed I was able to finish Hildeberg, because the Threatening Zeppelin theme starts off good, but then it ends really confusingly, so I'm surprised I was able to put lyrics to it. So anyway, sorry, going to the next part. Yeah. Oh, drop. You cut brothers falling fast to drop you out of the skies at last. Dun 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 dun. I will laugh so hard you think you. Oh yeah, this is the one that was confusing me. So I think it was, I will laugh so hard if you think you can make it out with your lives. I sort of forgot about that part. That's why I sort of said it. Music. Take your feet off the ground. We travel through the sky. Okay, and then this part was sort of like a long pause section because there wasn't a lot of things to put. So I just put talking parts to this, not lyrics. So this is how it is. So it's like, still holding on, are we? I guess you aren't as fragile as I thought. No matter, this one-woman army has many forms left to break you with. Take my soul if you can. There's not a chance in the stars I would let you take it. Go ahead, Cuphead. Try to survive what comes next. I have a guess you won't make it out of the skies alive. These skies alive. Which I gotta say, that was very impressive of me putting that. I wasn't expecting to have like a literary masterpiece. I'm sorry, that part really confused me. And then it goes back to the singing. I'm gonna have to go back really quick to listen to this section because I have no idea of how the music is and it's been so long. Threatening Zeppelin. Cuphead, there we are. So let me skip ahead to get to this part. You guys might hear it. But I hope you guys enjoyed those lyrics. I think the Cuphead musical is one that I tried so hard on that I actually came out with good lyrics, which was even more shocking when it came out. So, yeah, so here on this part, I can't really figure out a way to put lyrics to that part, so that's why I just added talking. Oh, I think I know what's coming up, actually. Hold on. bum. Yeah. Bum 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 dun 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 dun. Yeah. Ah, that's how it goes. Dun 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 dun. Okay, I think I understand. So it's like, day, night, with the help of the sun, I can see you fry. When the moon comes out, my power rise. I think that's how it goes. You won't make me fall with the night. I think it's like, you won't make me fall with the night. I will always Oh no, that was wrong. Not rise, it's shine. You will always make me. You won't make me fall in the night. I will always shine. The stars have. Is that right? It's been so long since I actually read these lyrics. The stars have my name written down. Destiny is in my corner. I'm gonna have to talk the rest of these because I sort of don't understand. So. You won't make me fall down with the night. I will always shine. The stars have my name written down. Destiny is on my side. Follow you around is disorder. You will fall like shooting stars. And then it goes back to the original. Dun 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 dun. So it was like, in this race of aerial combat, I promise you'll. Oh, sorry, gotta do a little bit more of a high pitched voice because this is supposed to be done by a not male role. So, in this race of aerial combat, I promise you'll end in last. You cub brothers falling fast, I'll drop you out of my skies at last. I will laugh so hard. Okay, no, that was. I will laugh so hard if you think you can make it. I keep forgetting how that part goes. Trying to catch a second wind, you'll be out cold before that time. Be quick, strike first now. I don't remember how the ending goes, so I decided to... What, another talking part? How long does this go on for? I forgot how long the threat in Zeppelin was, so talking. You little cups are starting to annoy me. There is no way you can be better than I am at mastering the sky. I won't be holding back anymore. I will make you regret thinking you can come here and beat me. Continue at your own peril. You are starting to test my patience. I'll end you and your occupation with your occupation. Because, Cuphead, Mugman, deal with the devil. That was their occupation. Taking, Now I've sort of devolved into explaining lyrics. What a steal. Okay. Flying so fast through the air. If you come any closer... Oh, I should have put dear right there. That would be so cool. So if you come any closer, dear, I will stand... Yeah. I will strand you barren. I may have to just talk the rest of these because I forgot how it goes. So, how about this? I'll re-sing the beginning just because the beginning of the Threat in Zeppelin was my favorite. So I'll go back and re-sing the beginning just because I enjoy it. But for the rest of this, I'll sort of talk the lyrics best I can. So, you are starting to test my patience. I'll end you with your occupation. Flying so fast through the air. If you come any closer, I will strand you barren. Make your plans burst into flames. I'll blow you like fireworks be displayed. Man, I was really good at rhyming, surprisingly. Cool breeze of the night blowing, no simple walk in the park. Fade in the night, disappear before daytime, the stars frown when you arrive. Okay, well that one wasn't as cool rhyming scheme. Ever have that feeling of soaring above the clouds? Oh no, I think this is whenever it comes back around, so... Ever have that feeling of soaring above the clouds? No, never mind. Ever have that feeling of soaring above the clouds? The world so far below. Can't comprehend this blue open world. You're limited in that mental thing. Faking flight past design. I connect with the world above. You'll be swat like a bug. Oh, that was a good rhyme. You will leave broken, no contract. Run to your boss. Take your feet off the... Oh yeah, take your feet off the ground. We travel through the sky. And then that was the end. So overall, looking back at these old lyrics, I'm honestly very surprised of how well they did. Because I think whenever I was writing them, I was so confused. I mean, because a lot of the characters here in Cuphead, they were not... A lot of the themes themselves were very hard to write. On top of the fact that these characters don't have backstory or anything, so you just have to go off the visuals of their fight, which is a lot harder than you think it is. I've done it before. That's a lot harder than you would think it is. So I'm honestly very impressed I was able to get this much lyrics out of it, because usually writing lyrics that has over 3 minutes. That's difficult to do. It was really hard for me. So I'm just surprised of how much I was able to put out. So just because I really love how the Threatened Zeppelin starts and how I wrote the lyrics for the beginning, I'm gonna sing that again if you guys don't mind. So the rhythm is like dun 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 dun. So it goes like that. So for those of you who haven't heard it, I mean, of course you could look it up. So let's see. It's like, take your feet off the ground, we travel through the sky. See the constellations shine, the stars burn out your eyes. I will laugh so hard it'll crash your plane into the clouds. Spin that wind so darn fast, make those twisters wild. The stars and moon rise high. In this race of aerial combat, I promise you'll end and last. You cut brothers falling fast, I'll drop you out of my skies at last. I will laugh so hard you can Oh, my bad. I misspelled that. It says you can make it out with your lives. That's supposed to be can't. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to edit that. I can't edit it here, so whatever. I will laugh so hard if you think you can. Oh, no, that's correct. I'm sorry. I'm just really dyslexic. I'm sorry, guys. This is a mess. So, in this race of aerial combat, I promise you'll end and last. You cut brothers falling fast, I'll drop you out of my skies at last. I will laugh so hard if you think you can make it out with your lives. There it is. It's because that decimal was there was confusing me. Did I say decimal? I meant comma. What is wrong with me? Take your feet off the ground, we travel through the sky. I really love how I wrote the intro for that. The lyrics. I don't know if anyone else appreciates it as much as I do, but I love it. And because I'm singing it again, even though I'm trying to push out the Hollow Knight musical bites, I really want to make this. I don't know who I'll reach out to do the female voice, but I really want this to be possible. And again, because here's my opinion on as far as collaborations go, I want to collab with people who... Well, to put it this way, I would only want to collab with people for the reason of helping them, if that makes sense. Because I'm in the, I feel like in a small minority that's like, I don't do collabs for the reason of self-benefit, which usually collaborations are either or. Sometimes they support the person who posted on the channel, or it supports the person who they collaborated with, so it's an in-between, and because of recent events, it's sort of more so poured towards the direction of I do collaborations to support and help others. What did you think of the E3 yesterday? I knew that it was happening. I actually did not watch it. And that's because I'm not the biggest on gaming news and I don't really care to keep up with things. But in all honesty, I probably will go back to see it, replays, whatever, watch it. But I'm not just, I don't know, I'm not the biggest in gaming, so I don't keep up with, like, Nintendo Direct, E3, I don't keep up with, like, any of that stuff. But I do go back and watch it, like, when it does come up, I go back and rewatch it after the stream's over and whatnot. I just find it easier that way. But anyways, because of some, the new Smash characters was shocking. Oh, really? I'll have to take a look at it. So, getting back to sort of what I was saying, I don't care for the new characters. You know what? You guys are piquing my interest. I was talking about collabs. I'll get back to that in a second. I want to see what these new characters are. Because, again, I'm not the biggest Smash Bros. Fan, but I would be interested to see who joined. Don't spoil it for me. I want to figure it out for myself. Unless I can't find it, in which case I want you guys to spoil it for me. But for now, Smash Bros. Ultimate... What the heck? What the heck is this? New fighter. Was it just one singular new fighter? Was that... What is this? Not actual gameplay footage. Well, no duh, Nintendo. This is animation. Something you clearly don't do. No offense to Nintendo at all. What the heck? Ganon? This is number 8 on trending. What happened? What is going on? No. What? Ganon? What? I don't understand. What the... What the heck? What the heck? What? What? What is... Okay. Okay, I can't with this. I can't with this. What the heck? I don't care. No, the shocking thing to me is, I mean, I could care less about the other things. Like, I mean, he's a new character. I don't know who he is or where he's from. Street Fighter or something. That's what he reminds me of. I don't really care about who he is or what. The biggest concern that I have for this is the fact that he was basically throwing him over the edge, presumably into lava. That is literally the darkest thing Nintendo has probably ever done. Probably not the darkest. Obviously, Nintendo has made some... Well, I guess technically Lavender Town wasn't necessarily their fault. Well, yes, it was. They made it. But anyways, that was probably the darkest thing I've ever seen Nintendo have in recent times. That is really messed up. Like, can you grasp that? Nintendo was marketed towards a large audience. But most of those audience are towards Mario, Pokemon, you know, those types of fans. And yes, they do have dark elements. I'm not saying they don't. Because of, like, Nintendo puts Easter eggs or something, or people make it up from creepypastas or whatever. Like... Sometimes it's Nintendo, sometimes it's them. But this is the most messed up I've ever seen Nintendo's trailers. They're just throwing characters into lava, even though they don't visually show them dumping into it. They still threw them off a cliff, and presumably they're dead. That is messed up. Never in a Smash. Like, yeah, the worst Smash I've probably ever seen people suffer through in Smash Bros. Game was whenever they were turning into trophies from Smash Bros. Brawl. That's probably the worst I've ever seen them have it, with like a bunch of black holes. Again, that's probably the worst I've ever seen. It's video game characters, specifically in the Nintendo franchise. But then, what is this mess? This is ridiculous. I'm sorry, that blew my mind. Again, I don't care about the character. I care more about the fact that that was the darkest, that was the most messed up I've ever seen one of Nintendo's commercials. I'm really surprised by that. I'm sorry. That was a big tangent. I was just mind blown by that. What? It's crazy. Okay. So with the mind blow out of the way, I'm gonna take a sip of water. Good stuff. Forget about that mess. Okay. Have you played a Kirby game? Well, I mean, I understand Kirby's plot is all about, you know, dark matter, and like the whole lore of dark matter comes from like a sad place, and he wants to plunge the world into an era of darkness and destruction because he's sad. That's literally the dark matter's whole shtick. He's doing this because he's lonely. The final boss in Dreamland 3 was a giant bleeding eyeball. I mean, yeah, I understand that, but the difference between a Kirby game, specifically what you mentioned, or any Kirby game, any messed up Kirby game thing that happened, like the bleeding eyeball, which that's Zero, by the way. Just want to classify that because I did a lot of dark matter research going into making the smaller dark matter musical bites for a little bit later project. It's that boss you're referring to is called Zero, and then in Kirby Crystal Shards or whatever it's called, you fight the skin that like came off of the eyeball, which was called Zero 2. Just thought I'd put that out there, just a few knowledge if you didn't know. But the difference between any Kirby messed up boss, or even if it isn't a boss and just messed up stuff Kirby wise in general, the difference between that and that Smash Brothers trailer for this new character is that Kirby never threw someone into suffering boiling water. I mean, I guess technically Kirby, you could technically classify Kirby as doing worse because one, he devours his enemies whole and takes their life force to gain their powers. So I guess you could say Kirby is a bit worse than that. It never happened to Sephiroth. He did not turn into a trophy. I love Kirby games. Kirby games are fun. I love the Kirby lore. In Japan, Dark Mind from Amazing Mirror is called Dark Zero. Dark Mind was one of the ones for the musical bites I was going back and forth with because I didn't know if I should have Dark Mind, because I understand Dark Mind is like a reflected version of what dark matter is, because dark matter is like the controlling, or wants to control everything, plunge everything dark because he's sad, whatever, and in the mirror world everything is a reflection. There's Shadow Kirby, there's Shadow Meta Knight, and Dark Matter is the reflected, Dark Mind is the reflected version of Dark Matter. He's basically the same, just in Mirror Land form. So, I was debating whether or not to have him in the musical bites because technically he's a reflection of dark matter, but technically he's not dark matter completely, so I didn't know whether or not to add him in the musical bites. I think overall I decided I would add him in the musical bites, but it was like a weird back and forth thing between he is technically, but he isn't, so it was kind of hard to choose between whether or not to use his theme for the musical bites. Uh, what was the thing I was? Oh yeah, I guess technically another messed up Kirby thing. It's a little bit more low key, but one of the other messed up Nintendo things I guess they did was in Star Allies, Kirby Star Allies. Whenever Highness took his three people who he cared for, brought them up, saved them, and then he turned crazy. Then they were generals. And then he just sacrificed them to bring out the Lord of Destruction, the true destroyer of worlds, the Dark Lord. That was kind of messed up. Like, low key, you don't really think too much of it. It looks like they were just absorbed by it, but he sacrificed them. Thinking about it, that was a messed up Kirby thing to do. Like, again, it's really low key, but that's what he did. And that's really messed up. So the thing I was collabs. That's what I was doing. So for the Threatened Zeppelin, if I wanted like, or just collabs in general. Uh, Again, I would want to collab with people for the reason of helping them because my goal is, and again, like I've already said, collabs help people either. It's for self gain, right? People do collabs either for fun or for self gain. I feel like there's no in between. But I'm trying to develop that because I don't see a lot of people doing collabs for the sake of helping others. I mean, that's what they say, but I've seen it time and time again where people collab for the sake of self gain, not game, for self gain, and because of something that happened recently, that sorry, people are talking in the background. Something that happened recently to a YouTuber that I guess I'll talk about a little bit to sort of help drive my point home. I was thinking of talking about this and what something that happened to the Black Rose's channel. It's nothing bad. She's doing okay. You'll find a link in the description for her new channel, but basically, the Black Rose had made a tweet talking about deleting the channel, deleting her Twitter, making a new one, starting from scratch. And I'm not going to get into that reason now because I don't know. I don't think she would want me to talk about. We don't know each other personally, but I don't think she would want that to be widely spread because number one, that isn't really my information to spread. But the point I'm trying to make by bringing her up and talking to you about that is the Black Rose had tweeted that one of the reasons why she was starting over is because when people collabed with her, they usually dropped her, or they not usually. That sounds bad. I think in her words, it was like, let me actually try to find the tweet so I can quote her directly, so I'm not just ripping off of what I assume she said to what she actually said. Okay. I don't think it's. Oh no, it's here. It's here. Okay, so it's this one right here. So let me look at the skills. Whether or not. Sorry, I'm trying to read through to make sure I'm quoting this. A long time I wasn't. I know this goes up there with the big ones. Okay, sorry. That was good enough. Hold on. Where was the thing? I think she was. Hold on. Sorry. I need to. Okay. I was up the error, but at the same time I was upset. Long while ago, yeah, okay. Well, okay, so I sort of got out the context so I could sort of make my own thing about it because I sort of don't want to quote her directly because, again, some of that information isn't mine to give. So I'm going to just take out some parts. So basically, the Black Rose, she was dropped by a lot of big people who was collaborating with her, for whatever reason, and other people who did collaborate with her, some of them would only collaborate with her because she had a name in the community, and that name would boost their self-gain up on the platform so they would grow more. So it was more of a selfish reason, and for other people who dropped her, it was just, I don't know if it was for a selfish reason, but that's what happened. Again, she's doing perfectly fine now, and I encourage you to check out her new channel, which is linked in the description below. If you already know the Black Rose, she moved channels if you didn't know. Link to her new channel is in the description. And if you don't know her, I suggest you check out her music. I did a review on my podcast channel about her, which I should have linked in the description. But you can find, if you want to see a review of her, you can go to my podcast channel, links in the description. You can find the review where I talk about her. So you can check that out there. But ever since I saw that happened very recently. So ever since I saw that, what they're talking about at collabs and everything, it sort of more cemented the idea that I had that most people would only go into collabs for the reason of self-gain. So I was always trying, like, for self-gain or for fun. Like, there was no in-between. Or at least in my opinion, there wasn't anyways. So I was trying to make an in-between. Or something far away from the reason of self-gain, because yes, admittedly, I do have thoughts about working with other creators for the reason of self-gain. I'm not gonna lie and say I don't. I feel like everyone does, but I'm trying to make that in-between. I'm trying to make an in-between that's like, I'm not doing this for the reason of self-gain, so I've implemented a reason created by my goal on YouTube to support other creators. So I poured that into the middle section of this, and I created this new thought that hopefully, I don't know if it's already spreading or hopefully it will, that collab for the reason of helping other creators. The Black Rose, like, I've always, well, the thing is, whenever I was talking about who to collab with to play Hildeberg for the Threat and Zeppelin, I instantly thought of the Black Rose for the reason of I wanted to, this is kind of weird to say, but show her wrong, and I don't mean show her wrong meaning like an angry show her wrong. What I mean by show her wrong was show her wrong in the sense that not everyone who's going to collab with you means harm. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people do for the interest of self-gain and selfishness, but I kind of wanted to collab with her for the reason of for the sake of, number one, to sort of help her new channel grow. So if people on my channel didn't know about her, that hopefully with this collab more people would go to her new channel, so support her. And the second reason is because that she's had a tough experience with collabs and she couldn't put her heart into it for the longest time because a lot of people would always drop her from collaborations. So I wanted to do a collaboration with her for the sake of trying to show her, like, not everyone who is collabing with you is doing it for a selfish reason. And that's sort of what I mean by I'll show you wrong. Again, not for a reason like, I'm going to show you wrong. No, show you wrong in a sense of, like, trying to help you out. That hopefully with this one collab from me, that you would see that I'm not doing this for the reason of self-interest, but for supporting you. But that's what I want to do. Keep in mind, that's what I want to do, not what I'm going to do. I might okay. I have a bunch of reasons of collaborating, not wanting to collaborate. One of the feeling of I'm not very good at what I do, so feeling like collaborating with others is going to actually drive them down if they're related or have relations with me. So that's sort of a fear that I've instilled, that, like, if I'm working on a collab with some other channel, I feel like my relation to them is just going to bring them down, and I don't want to do that. So I'm more than happy to stay invisible to every creator on the platform. I'll be more than happy about that. I'm torn in between now, because originally I was thinking I'm not going to collab with her because again, that fear, I don't want my relation with collabing with her going to bring her down anymore. So I don't want to do that. But at the same time, I am right now just developed the thought of I'm torn between don't do it and at least try to ask. Because I never collaborated with her, so I don't know how that works, how she does it. Because I feel like the way I do it and work with people over musical bites and whatnot that I have in the past are a little bit different than the way she does it. I don't know, though. Again, I never done it. But I kind of wanted to, again, for the reason of supporting her and everything like that. Because, again, I'm not going to talk too much about what's happening with her, because, again, that's not my information to give. So anyways, sorry, I just wanted to go on that collab collaboration talk and how I view collaborations, that I view it as a way of supporting other people, that I'm trying to make it as a way of not self-gain, but to support other people. And yeah, that's basically all. So what's this? Is that dabbing? Are you dabbing in chat? Come on, guys. So what's this? Fun fact, Hyde was originally going to be an unlockable dream friend. He even had data for alt colors and multiplayer. Really? Very interesting. Oh, also, I don't think it will happen. I highly doubt anyone watching this would care to do it. But just in case, if there's a 1% chance, because I never believe there's a 100% chance of anything, I've always say 99.9% chance. Usually I use 100% chance as a joking thing. Because I do believe there is that 1% chance that this could happen. So for the sake of it might happening, please don't clip this. Do not, specifically of anyone who may end up seeing the stream in the future, who may watch the Black Rose and thinking, well, here, I'll help you with this. I'll clip this, send this to her. Please don't do that. Again, I would be more than happy if every creator doesn't know I exist. I don't mind that at all. I was just good at staying invisible. I'll do like, what is his name? Drax, and be so still that I'm invisible. I think that's the wrong person to, that I quoted. But still. So don't mention this. Don't bring it to her. So just don't do that. So just in case there is that 1% chance that one person watching this might think of doing that, don't do that. So sorry, that was a weird thing to bring up. There was something else I wanted to talk about, I think related to either Cuphead the Musical Pokemon or some other thing we mentioned, or maybe continuing talking about Kirby. I think mainly talking about Kirby. We've been streaming for almost 2 hours. I might go exactly 2 hours for this stream because a lot of the beginning of this stream, the first 30 minutes, kind of was literally nothing. So I kind of want to go for a little. I liked your video, and I'm the only one who likes it, so yeah. Wait, liked one video. Oh, no. Do you mean this live stream? Do you mean this live stream or a specific video? Because in this live stream, I see 2 people liked it. What's this? Shadow Kirby, Galactonite, and Aline were all connected as dream friends. You know what? I'm not surprised. I seen the live stream. Well, if that's the case, I see 2 people have liked it, so I guess you're not the only one. Whoopsie. I accidentally opened up another tab. Live stream. Yeah, I see 2 people like the live stream. I'm not surprised by that because I've seen a lot of Galactonite lore, which I also think the lore for Galactonite is also really cool as well. Because I'm always curious about who Galactonite was. Like, he was probably, well, I mean, there was a lot of characters at the time, like Dark Matter, who I didn't know about, but Galactonite was the one I had a vast interest in. But now that I'm grown up, I realized I have access to literally everything. I could just look up, what his lore is. So, I really, like, I wasn't expecting Meta Knight to have a background of, like, a group of warriors, and I feel like the story of the one warrior in a crowd of the selected few warriors who rose up to be stronger is kind of outdated, I was going to say, but I don't think that's... He is meta pink, but pink. Galactonite? Yeah. I mean, they're all connected in one way or another. I mean, again, the mirror realms are all reflections of the real realm. And the mirror connects the 2 worlds, which is shown by, I think, was it either Star Allies or it was some other game with a bee queen or something, a hornet queen who wanted to be beautiful, so that's what she turned it into. And in that game, it shows that there is, and I think Dark Meta Knight even came out of the mirror. I could be wrong. I mean, Shadow Meta Knight. But, yeah. So, Kirby, Meta Knight, Galactonite, Dark Matter, Shadow Kirby, all those, they are all what seems to be of the same species type, or in Dark Matter's case, he's more of a sort of a entity that's more not developed. Well, is developed the right word? Technically speaking, if Dark Matter is like not a more evolved form, but sees more clearly than what... Well, I say clearly. I'm talking about it through a villain's perspective, because that's the perspective of Dark Matter. Well, a villain perspective is what I call it. seeing it through the villain's perspective, seeing clarity, and gaining more power for more clarity. Basically, unlocking true power. That's what I was trying to get at. Dark matter unlocking true power, which dark matter from the beginning always had more of a twisted form, from the very beginning. I'm sorry, that was all really confusing. The point is, they all have a connection. I don't doubt that. They're all from the same species, and they each have a potential for even greater power, which makes logical sense for a lot of the things that I thought didn't make sense for Meta Knight's character. For instance, in specifically the game, I don't know if they did it in Superstar, but I know they happen in Superstar Ultra, because because in Kirby Superstar, I know they did in Kirby Superstar Ultra. In Kirby Superstar Ultra, Meta Knight pulls off this move that summons a gigantic like power beam or tornado or something. And I have always thought, even as a kid, like, why does Meta Knight have this attack? He isn't super powered. He's just a cool guy who can fly with a sword. It doesn't make sense to me. But thinking about it, it makes sense, because if they are all connected and sort of via of the same species, it would make sense that they all have the ability to gain to unlock these powers. If you want to be technical, Galactonite could be considered a form of dark matter. Yeah, I mean, I guess technically speaking, that could be correct, yeah. Because it's interesting to see how far dark matter has come. Well, because Galactonite's story, from what I remember, was the classic hero in the making. People saw him as a villain, so they threw him in a void of darkness to never see him again. That's that's my simplified version. So if you don't know Galactonite's lore, here's what I remember, because it's been a few months since I've watched it, so I could be wrong about a few points. So correct me if I'm wrong about these. So Galactonite, so the species that hide, I say species, the group that hide was Highness. I keep saying hide. Highness. He was from the sorcerers of a group called, I think they were specifically called the Ancients, and there were two groups who lived inside the Ancients, the Scientists and the Mages, and Highness was a part of the Mages. And the group, I think, together had made this specific group of warriors, like personal warriors to the, I think, and Galactonite was a part of them, and there were this group of warriors, and then whenever Void Termina made its rise the first time, they sent out the warriors to take down Void Termina. All of them died except for Galactonite. And Galactonite was gaining more power every day. And so it was either, I know the Scientists, I think, were a little bit more oblivious, but I think the Mages were seeing like Void Termina was the destroyer of worlds. Oh, no. I understand how it goes. So Sorry. I just remembered how it really went. So, after Galactonite defeated Void Termina, he was starting getting power every day. The mages were getting a little bit worried about that. So what the mages did was they threw Meta Knight into a void where he couldn't escape. And then the scientists, they saw, this is the scientists' logic on the case. Void Termina was considered most powerful being in the universe, the destroyer of worlds, and Galactonite defeated Void Termina, making Galactonite the strongest in the world. And then the scientists sealed away Galactonite, making the scientists the strongest in the world. And for fear that power was going to get to their heads, the scientists kicked out the mages. They banished them. And I think Highness was the only, I could be wrong about that, Highness was the only living mage left from the Ancients during the time. Fun fact, in the domestic language, Magolor's name translates to Paradise of Lies. I mean, yeah, the whole Magolor's whole, like, at the beginning, whenever I first saw him, is like, this is a really cool character, but obviously, lore-wise, it means much more than that. So I'm not surprised his name means Paradise of Lies. Because it's funny, because Magolor was used in such a sad way, because the crown was controlled by Dark Matter or Void Termina, whichever one you prefer, to control the crown. And that's evident by the crown that Void Termina attacks you with and Star Allies. So he was controlled and used, but then Kirby defeated him. If you played the game, Kirby defeats him, breaks the crown, whatever. Yeah. I forgot where I was going with that, but yeah. Oh, yeah. I think that was all of Galactonite's lore. Yeah. Which is really interesting looking at that now. Like what Star Allies had shown in the lore that brings, that Galactonite was casted out into a void. And then, because during Kirby Superstar Allies, you can play as Meta Knight during like a Meta Knight mission, and the final boss fight that you fight is Galactonite. And it's very interesting to look back on that, because seeing now the understanding of how the ancients treated Galactonite, how they saw Galactonite, that Galactonite was considered, for defeating or sealing away Void Termina for them, that Galactonite was, and was the last one standing, was the most powerful being. And for the fear that the Galactonite was gonna betray them, they threw him in the void. With that being the case, it's interesting to look back at this old game, this very old game, well, not very old game, but old game, Kirby Superstar Allies, to see Meta Knight's mission, and see him talking about he wants to fight the strongest being in the universe or something like that. And that's, and Galactonite appeared. I never understood what that meant. I just thought Galactonite was always this interdimensional powerful being, but it makes so much sense looking back on that. Because even the star Nova, the Great Wishing Star, even classified him as the strongest warrior. So it's interesting to see, looking back on that, how the lore has come full circle. Well, I mean, technically, again, getting technical, that path that you play as Meta Knight is technically non-canon. It's more of a what-if scenario. To quote the YouTuber who I watched the lore talking about, the Meta Knight mission is more of a what-if scenario, not an actual canon scenario. But still, it's interesting to know that the lore has sort of come full circle. It's very interesting to look back and see all these things and how they were. Because Dark Matter just seemed like the one-and-done character. Like, you fight him one time in the old games and that was it. And then some of the other characters seem similar, but you just figured that was the norm, like 0, 2, whatnot, so on and so forth. But it's so interesting to know that throughout the entire games, throughout all the games played, that it was always Dark Matter that's been your enemy from the very beginning. It's so interesting to, with that mindset and looking back at all the games, it's so clear that it's been Dark Matter the whole time. Magolor was controlled by Dark Matter, by the Crown. In Squeak Squad or whatever it's called, Dark Nebula, a sealed away entity, a part of Dark Matter, was controlling the Squeak Squad or whatever they're called to attack Kirby. And then in Kirby Crystal Shards, you see a part of Dark Matter corrupting people. Throughout the entirety of all the games, in Void Termina, sort of giving the clue that Void Termina is part Dark Matter. So again, it's interesting to know, like, running through it the first time and not having the mindset of this guy isn't coming back again, but now with that mindset, it's fascinating looking back to see how it's been him the entire time. I'm sorry, that stuff just blows my mind. And I know I'm repeating myself a lot, but that stuff fascinates me. And I enjoy that. I enjoy good lore. I enjoy very good lore. I'm gonna quickly... Oh no, I forgot my background music. Hold on. Here we go. I'm gonna turn the background music a little bit down. I forgot I finished singing. Goozy is actually Dark Matter turned good. Gooey? Oh yeah, I knew about Gooey, Dark Matter turned good. Which also branched off the whole theory of the difference between Dark Matter and Kirby, because if Dark Matter, based on what you see in Void Termina, the similarities between Kirby and Dark Matter, to show that it's possible that they are from the same species. It's just Dark Matter sort of embraced something that Kirby hasn't, so Dark Matter had gained more power for it, or however that went. And even though Gooey is a part of Dark Matter, he's good. So it's interesting to see that even though they come from the same species, that all parts of it could be good or evil. Because Kirby has said that if Kirby embraced the same thing that Dark Matter did, Kirby can be just as evil as Dark Matter, if not more so. But Kirby embraces good rather than the evil. So the same goes for Gooey. Even though Gooey was a part of Dark Matter, Gooey part embraced good rather than evil. So Gooey's outlook is much different. You see him smiling, his tongue is waggling everywhere. So it's again, another thing that fascinates me, that a part of this lore, there's so much I love talking about lore-wise, no matter what thing it is. I just love talking about lore. I'm not good at understanding or researching to make up or to understand lore, but I love listening to lore and being able to understand it after playing certain games or watching gameplays of certain things and being like, that's what that meant. Like, I love those moments. I mean, I probably feel a lot smarter if I actually was able to put together pieces of lore, but I can't, so I'm not that smart, I guess, is what I'm trying to say from that conclusion. Why did I name the stream May or May Not? Why did I... Whatever. I don't know why I named this stream May or May Not. That doesn't make any sense. Gonna stretch for a little bit. I'll be more than happy to just have talking about lore streams. That would not bother me at all. One stream dedicated to Star Wars lore. I'm scraping the surface because mainly talked about General Grievous, but I could go on for hours about Star Wars lore. Would you guys want to switch talking about lores and go from Kirby lore to Star Wars lore? Just talking about a few interesting things. I would not be disappointed in that. I could talk about, as long as I understand the lore, or researched it and know about the lore, I'll talk about it. So I guess, because I can't really think about much more to talk about Dark Matter, I'm sort of going through everything in my head to see if there's anything I missed that I could talk about related to Dark Matter and Kirby lore. I think there's something stuck in my teeth. Maybe not. Okay. How is this freaking out? Okay. I think roughly we've been over almost everything related to Dark Matter. I could have gone over everything and just don't remember it. I'm gonna turn up the background music a little bit. There you go. So you guys can enjoy something besides silence. What could... talked about the ancients, talked about how Dark Matter sort of connected to everything since the very beginning. Well, I guess that's one game that I didn't look into, which was the connection with Kirby's Epic Yarn. Like, there's a few games that I didn't fully 100% see the connection between, that I don't think there is a connection, which was Kirby's Epic Yarn for the Wii, and... which, I said specifically the Wii. I don't know if it came out on any other console, but Kirby's Epic Yarn, which isn't too bad of a game, I have to say. That's a pretty fun game. And I was thinking of doing a musical bites for that game, but I thought, I already have so many projects, I can't focus on that right now. So, Kirby's Epic Yarn, and there was another game that I don't know how it's connected. It's the game that turns Kirby into a ball. There's two different versions. I don't know if it's the remaster version, but Kirby turns into like a clay ball. Again, I don't know if that's how it is in the DS version. Oh, but I played the DS version, not the Switch version. So... I don't understand how that game might have a connection, because for the most part it seems like the boss of that one and the boss from that game where Kirby gets turned into a ball, that main villain has any connection with Dark Matter, or in Kirby's Epic Yarn how the villain there relates to Dark Matter, which I'm kind of convinced it isn't. They all seem like their own smaller games that sort of detract from Dark Matter. Again, I could be wrong, but I haven't seen any connections between them. If we're talking about games-wise and releases, they were fun games. But if we're talking about lore-wise, I think it's like a pin in the Dark Matter story and going off on, like, filler episodes. Talking about it lore-wise. To fight a villain that isn't really Dark Matter. So besides that, I think that's pretty much all I can think of. Average watch time 7 minutes. Have you guys only been watching me for 7 minutes for the past almost 2 hours? That's sad. Alright. That's sad for me. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to wrap up talking about Kirby lore because it's almost... we got 10 minutes until 2 hours and then I'm going to stop the stream. Or, wait, no, I said I was going to go for longer, didn't I? Yeah, I'm pretty sure at the beginning I said I'm gonna try to go for as long as I can. Technically, I could push past 2 hours. We will see what arises. The reason why I'm sort of hesitant to go past any more than 2 hours is because I don't really see anyone being interested in watching me for any more than, like, because I said the most I could probably go for is 5 hours. I highly doubt anyone's gonna care about watching a stream about me talking just with this for 5 hours. I kind of can't see that. I don't know, we'll just see how it ends up. If we go past 2 hours, we'll see how long we can go. So, I think we've covered all of Kirby lore. I could be completely wrong. I'm really interested to know how they're going to make an addition. Because I guess you could technically say Void Termina was quote-unquote final battle or whatever, but I can sort of see a more greater implication of dark matter in a final form. Man, how would things change? That's a good question we can ask. Will dark matter always be the villain you're fighting? Or, if dark matter does make a return in a different form, will the villain always be dark matter? Or will eventually, the more Kirby goes on, the Kirby franchise and Kirby games, will there be different villains? Will there be another different main villain that comes out of this? Will Galactonite turn into the main villain? Or will it be a newly created character? Those are some interesting questions, because Kirby has been going on for years now. As long as Nintendo's been going on for, Kirby's been going on for years. And this story with dark matter has been going on for years. So how would they change things up? Will they always keep it as dark matter? Or will they eventually have dark matter be finished off? And will that just be the end of Kirby games as a whole? Or will they continue on with the story just with different villains? These are interesting questions to ask. So many what ifs and the possibilities. Because I sort of can't see, after knowing about Kirby lore, it's kind of hard to see any other villain, because I feel like DDD will never be the main villain. I feel like DDD will always be Kirby's rival, because that's just what Kirby is. I mean, from the beginning, or not from the beginning, I mean, well, yeah, I guess sort of from the beginning, DDD was sort of the annoying guy you fight and you think that's the big guy. But as far as Kirby games go, even like things like Star Allies, you clearly see that you team up with DDD. Other games you fight him, but in Star Allies you can team with DDD. In another game, Kirby Returns to Dreamland, you get to play as Waddle Dee, Meta Knight, DDD, or you get to play as any other colored Kirby. Which, I gotta say something, I really do appreciate the bosses in Kirby Returns to Dreamland. I think those are some of my most memorable, my favorite bosses. The one that specifically comes to my mind is the Genie. But anyways, yeah. I might just end it at 2 hours because I can't really think of anything else to talk about. We'll see what happens. Wow, it's a miracle. Throughout this entire stream, I have not got one error from YouTube Studios. Usually every morning when I stream, it's like, hey, you're having problems. Your stream's gonna die. Well, not this time. It seems to be going pretty well as far as I can tell. Okay, I don't want things to be silent, but I may take a second to sort of look up to see if I can't talk about well, something. We will see what happens. Ooh. Hey Twitter, I guess I can make a quick plug of my Twitter. If you have Twitter at all, my link is in the description for my Twitter. I just made a post, well, not just a post, it was like an hour ago, showing you my behind the scenes setup. I may actually pull it into OBS for you guys to see. But you can see how bad my setup is on Twitter. I don't think you need to make a Twitter account to do anything. I could be wrong about that though. Oh, CG5 changed his logo. I completely forgot about that. A very nice looking icon. What is this? Here we go. Another proper verified tweet. Breathes in and out really fast. Nagito Komaeda? I don't understand that. What is this? What is the point of this? I don't understand the point of this tweet. Sorry. Got on Danganronpa. Okay. I think we've about reached the end of the line, boys. I can't think of anything. I mean, if you guys have any ideas of some lore possibly that I could talk about. Donkey Kong lore is coming in the future. Don't worry. I don't have enough information to talk about it via stream just yet. But if you guys have any games... Let's see. Kirby. I honestly don't know too much about Mario. Star Wars. I think those might be the only ones I've done serious. Well, I guess Hollow Knights too. My Hollow Knights, talking about Hollow Knights lore would be a little bit more shaky. But I do know some Hollow Knight lore. What's it talking about to sort of wrap up this final 4 or 5 minutes? And this is another thing why I prefer recorded content over streaming. Again, you get benefits from both for different reasons. But one of the benefits I get from recorded content over live content is that I run out of things to talk about. So I feel like things get boring. And I can see people sort of steadily leaving. So I think we've about hit the end of the road, my boys. Again, we may end up going longer depending on if I can find something to talk about. But the thing is, I've covered a lot about... Well, and Transformers. I talked about Transformers as well. But it's funny because I don't know a lot about Transformers lore. Can you guys hear that rumble? I think someone turned on the garbage disposal downstairs. Man, I don't think we've ever had a more dead end of a stream. Like, usually I talk on until, like, the last minute or something. This is sort of nothing. Let me try to bring up something to sort of end off the stream on a good note. What lore things could we talk about? Huh. Did that sound like a villager? Huh. Yeah, as you guys can tell, I'm sort of I'm coming to the end of the line of everything. Star Wars would be the easiest to default to, and I've already done a whole stream dedicated to talking about Transformers. You know what? Whatever. I'll just talk about Star Wars, I guess. Well, what? Man, again, this is why I prefer recorded content over streaming, because I can plan things ahead of time of what I can talk about. Streams I'm sort of going blind. I mean, technically I could write a script for a stream, but what would be the point of doing that? I feel like it's more genuine if it just comes off the top of your head. 2 minutes, talk about lore something. Ooh, I could talk about how much I love Sidious. That was weird. So Star Wars. Darth Sidious, Star Wars. Can we just appreciate, because Sidious will always be my favorite character of Star Wars, because he's a villain of immense proportion of the like that I think is greatly underappreciated, so I think we should appreciate it. So let's talk about how much I think Sidious deserves to be more appreciated than what he's already given, because I feel like he's not appreciated enough for the things that he's done. So, Sidious grew up, blah blah blah, whatever, Sith, blah blah blah. We're skipping through that part. There are 2 rules that I've talked about in a previous stream that are made by the Sith. The very first rule was during a very early point of the Sith. I think it was during the time when the Sith species, when it was a species and not a Sith group, it was a Sith species. There was a Sith lord named Darth Krayt, I believe, and Darth Krayt created what was called the Rule of One, and the Rule of One was brainwashing, just utter allegiance, mind control. That's all it was. That's what the Rule of One was. There was only one leader and everyone else below was just servants. There was no in between, there was no other ranks, it was just the Emperor and the people who served the Emperor. And when then times passed and then Darth Bane came around, and then I've already told the story, and then Darth Bane created the Rule of Two, which states that there can only be one master and one apprentice. An apprentice to gain knowledge to later usurp their master to become emperor, and the master who passes down the knowledge to train that person to become the emperor. So that's how the Rule of Two works. Darth Sidious created a rule called the Rule of 1.5. He follows the Rule of 1.5. If you didn't know about this, so basically, Sidious followed the Rule of 1 and 2, creating the Rule of 1.5, because Sidious obviously had an apprentice, multiples, Darth Maul, Count Dooku, Darth Vader. But at the same time, if you notice, Sidious never wanted to die, and every chance that Sidious did have a chance not to die, he took that opportunity so he could stay in complete control and rule everything. Because just like the rule of one, Sidious wanted to be the only ruler. He didn't want anyone to usurp him. He wanted to be in full control. But he also follows the rule of two for the reason of he has an apprentice to pass down knowledge to. So he follows the rule of what's called 1.5, where even though he has an apprentice that he's supposed to train to later on usurp him, he follows also the rule of 1, where he wants to always be in control. He doesn't want anyone to usurp him. So I feel like a lot of the things Sidious did, so with that knowledge, I feel like looking back at a lot of things that Sidious did gets more appreciated. For instance, like looking back at all the Padawans, that's a Jedi thing, apprentices Sidious had, it makes sense, the rule of 1 that came out. For instance, Count Dooku was originally a Jedi trained by Master Yoda. It makes sense that he would take Count Dooku as his apprentice, because he doesn't care about whether or not Dooku is his apprentice. He just wanted to rip away one of the greatest duelists in Jedi history away from the Jedi to get him on his side. And he didn't care if he died, because when Count Dooku died, that's how Darth Vader came to be. And that's another example. He turned Anakin to Darth Vader, not for the sake of getting a more powerful apprentice, but for the sake of, with Anakin's help, they were able, without Anakin's help, he wouldn't have been able to really tear down the Republic to build up the Galactic Empire. So that's why he got Anakin to his side to become Darth Vader, for the reason of being able to turn everything on its head. And without him, that couldn't happen. Darth Maul, well, this story sort of goes back away from the shows. I don't know if it's technically considered non-canon right now, because ever since Disney bought Star Wars, a lot of the canon stuff became non-canon. So I don't know if this is canon anymore, but this is the story of Darth Maul and his connection with everything. So Darth Maul, I think Mother Talzin, at the time, Mother Talzin was Darth Maul's son. I could be completely wrong about this, but Mother Talzin, Sidious came to the Night Sisters wanting a powerful apprentice, and he sensed how powerful Darth Maul was. And Mother Talzin, there was a deal between Mother Talzin and Sidious that was like, Sidious said to Mother Talzin, if you give me a child to train in the ways of the dark side of the Force, or that could be completely wrong. He may have just said, give me a child, and I will train you, Mother Talzin, in the dark ways. Basically, the point is that Mother Talzin gave Sidious Darth Maul for the reason of she believed that Sidious was going to train Mother Talzin, that she was going to get trained by him in the ways to use more powerful dark side moves. But that never happened. As soon as she got as soon as Sidious got his hands on Darth Maul, he left, and Mother Talzin was left in the dust. There is talking. Sorry, there's people talking in the background if you couldn't hear. So, where was I? So that's sort of how Darth Maul came to be in Sidious's possession. Sidious made a promise to Mother Talzin that he was going to train her in the ways of the dark side, but he never did. As soon as he got his hands on Maul, he split and never cared about her again, which is sort of, even though it wasn't necessarily commanded by Sidious, during the episodes of the Clone Wars, Dooku ordered Grievous to slaughter the Night Sisters, which technically was what Sidious wanted, for the reason of the Night Sisters sort of got in his way. Not like directly got in his way and wanted to stop his plans, but they got in his way. I forgot what exactly, but they sort of impede him to do something. Grand Admiral Thrawn. Can I talk about Grand Admiral Thrawn? So, Sidious is my #1 favorite Star Wars character. Thrawn is my second favorite. Can I just talk about Thrawn for a minute? Thrawn is a really cool character. He was introduced, if you don't read graphic novels or the comics or whatever, you wouldn't know about Grand Admiral Thrawn until the TV show that came out, Star Wars Rebels, where he was introduced. But Thrawn goes back in such an interesting past that I want to talk about, because I really like Thrawn and how he was developed and how he sort of proceeded after. This is going to be a long one, boys. Strap in. So, So Grand Admiral Thrawn was a part of I think they were called the Chai species, or the Choi. I think the Choi was from a completely different franchise. I think they're called the Chai or whatever. So they were part of the species that were very intelligent for the most part. Their whole species were very intelligent, and Thrawn was sort of a young general at the time, and they brought him in as a general in the first place because Thrawn was, compared to a lot of his other kin, very much more intelligent than them. So the council had brought Thrawn on at a very young age, specifically the species from Thrawn, not the Galactic Republic or anything, specifically in a Thrawn species. They brought him into the council to sort of help them, but Thrawn was implementing tactics that were against what the Jedi had wanted, and they were more aggressive, even though they succeeded in greatness, because Thrawn, every time he went out on a battle for whatever, he would always win, and the more aggressive tactics he employed, the greater the win was. But since that was against what his species, or the Chai clan species, whatever, wanted, they casted out Thrawn. They banished him. And I don't know how they got together. I don't think it was explained, or at least not to what I understand. Thrawn got in contact with Sidious, and this was during the times before the Clone Wars, I believe. Thrawn made his way, or it could have been during it was either before the Clone Wars or during the early age of the Clone Wars, either one. Thrawn found Palpatine, Sidious, and something happened that made Sidious see the potential in Thrawn, see how good Thrawn was. And Thrawn was recruited not during the Age of the Empire, as you would expect if you've only watched Star Wars Rebels, but he was recruited during the early Clone Wars, or before the Clone Wars even began. So Thrawn was recruited by a very young age and has always been loyal to Sidious and his empire that he was trying to build. So one of the first missions that Sidious had sent them on, Thrawn was hidden for the most part, obviously, because you don't see him in the Clone Wars or the movies, but Thrawn was hidden away and waiting for orders, and the first order that Sidious had gave him was to attack a Jedi cruiser that was making its way for a planet. And this is the reason why. Sidious wanted, this was during the early age of the Clone Wars, because he would have had, in order to do this plan. So Sidious commanded this other race of aliens to go attack this other planet, make an absolute slaughter, for the reason of being able to send clone troops battalions there. And this was an important planet that I didn't see explained why, that this was an important planet that Sidious needed to take over, so whenever the Empire was turned, he had troops established there, so they would have turned, and he would still have control over all the planets that the clones were at. So he needed this planet for some reason. He knew it was important, so he commanded the species to go attack it, so he could have Republic forces sent, so Empire turned, he would control it. I've already said this. However, the Jedi Council sensed that something wasn't right, so one of the Jedi, part of the council, I believe, it was either Jedi Knight or Jedi Master, who I forgot the name of, and he doesn't appear in the shows or the movies, but this Jedi was ordered, he went there, and he was going towards it, and then going towards the planet, and if he goes to the planet, he would see the species preparing, who hasn't yet let the atmosphere to go, which I think during the time they did meet up, they were the atmosphere, but they would see that they were enemies, and they were doing something sinister. So Sidious commanded Thrawn to intercept the Jedi before he got there and to kill him, so the Jedi wouldn't know that this was happening. So, as his command, Thrawn went, and he succeeded. He destroyed them, he killed the Jedi, he blew up the cruiser, and everything went off according to plan. The aliens got to the planet, made a massacre, clones were able to go there, and whenever the time of the Empire switched, he gained control of that planet. So, things went according to his plan during the time. I guess the only really cool detail to mention is that the Jedi force choked Thrawn through the hologram whenever they were talking. So I guess that's the only cool thing to bring up, but obviously transmission ended, so force choking wasn't a thing that happened to him anymore. So later on, during the time of the Empire, obviously Star Wars Rebels happened, don't really need to explain any of that, because all that's sort of already out there with the show Star Wars Rebels. You can watch it for yourself. But something interesting about Thrawn is his loyalty to the Empire. During the time the Empire fell, Thrawn was trying to rebuild the Empire. He was getting troopers together. He hired a bounty hunter to be his bodyguard. And the way he got that done is that he was telling this bounty hunter that his troops could help save his planet. That his planet was suffering from some kind of gas that was killing his species, and they were starving, and some of them were starving and everything. He said, we can get you the supplies needed to protect your people, but only if you come and be my bodyguard. So he got a bounty hunter to be his bodyguard, and he was just going around conquering and taking over planets and taking systems. And there was a theory that if Thrawn would have continued, then he would have successfully rebuilt the Empire. However, the reason why I said if he had is because Thrawn was stopped by the exact same person he brought on to be his bodyguard. The bounty hunter he hired, the bounty hunter found out that his people wasn't being killed by some natural or other species, but Thrawn was the one who was doing that to him, that it was his fault. So Thrawn stopped him by killing Thrawn, stabbing him through the heart while he was sitting down, and that's how Thrawn died. Even though I didn't explain very much of Thrawn, there was a lot more I could have explained, but don't have enough knowledge on. Thrawn is a very interesting character, and it's even more curious to know, like, how much of Thrawn's influence really spread. Because think about it, Thrawn, if he had continued, the theory that if Thrawn had continued, and he wasn't killed and he wasn't stopped, he would have successfully rebuilt the Empire. And if you watch The Mandalorian, hold on, if you guys ever seen The Mandalorian, they mention Grand Admiral Thrawn. In one of the episodes, I think it's season 2, they mention Grand Admiral Thrawn. So during the age of this, during The Mandalorian, whenever the Empire has fallen, that's in the same time that Grand Admiral Thrawn is trying to rebuild the Empire. That's something interesting to bring up. So Grand Admiral Thrawn wasn't mentioned for no random reason. If you understand like the graphic novels and everything, you would know that that is what this time is. That this is during the age Thrawn was trying to rebuild the Empire. And that's why Thrawn's name had came up. Because the system that Ahsoka was on, that she was trying to take the base back, was one of the ones that Thrawn had captured for the Empire. Again, just a lot of things interesting to bring up. But again, I wonder if his influence infected the First Order at all. I mean, obviously not the Sith, but specifically troopers in the future, generals, and how the First Order was built. I don't know. Again, these are the kinds of questions I like asking, because it's a lot of what if questions. What if this did happen? Or if it did happen? Again, a lot of interesting stuff. So, anyways, I was able to talk about some last minute exciting lore stuff. Exciting, maybe, we'll see. So, for the one person who stuck around until the very end, thank you. This is going to be the end of stream now. What was that? Hope you guys have enjoyed, sorry. Hope you guys have enjoyed, and I don't know if I'll do an early morning live stream tomorrow. I probably will actually do an early morning live stream, not 7 a.m. live stream. Again, we will see what happens. But I'll let you guys know. If you're part of the Discord, I'll definitely let you know whether or not I'm going to be streaming. So just be aware of that. Be aware of that. This music is very loud. I'm so sorry for that. Now I'm going to turn it off again to do another goodbye, so... Alright, goodbye.